All right, hello and welcome to another edition of Droppin Baums with me, Corey Baumeister. As always, with the lovely people here at TCGplayer, bringing you the best in trading card needs and content. So today I'm going to be bringing you to our Option 2 deck for the Pro Tour. I shouldn't say Option 2 because my brother and a couple other players on our team ended up playing this deck. I chose to play Black-Red. Personally, I just thought I would play it better. I knew the deck basically up and down. I 8-0'd the Mox with it the weekend before. So I really felt like it was the best deck for me. And Brad had been playing basically nothing but Teferi since it came out. So I really feel like it was the best deck for him. So I don't think either of us made a mistake in deck decisions. It's just our personal play preferences that really catapulted us to which direction we would go. So this is actually the deck that I spent the most time playing during testing because I felt, like I said, so confident with Black-Red. I didn't feel like I needed to do a lot of testing. I felt like I could just play the Pro Tour. And then I think there was 2 days left, and I just decided Black-Red is going to be for me. I'm going to play it better. Blue-White, we were still very much struggling against our Black-Red list post-Sideboard. And I really thought Black-Red was going to be a dominant force at the Pro Tour, which it ended up being. So I like my deck decision. It's unfortunate my last four matches, I went 6-0 into 0-4 into 6-4 for Constructed, so that was unfortunate, but I really liked my deck decision. I do think Owen Turtenwald's list was better than mine. I really did not like what people were doing with Beaumont, like putting it on the sideboard or just not playing at all. I think that was just criminal. That card is just very good. But that is a conversation for another one. I am going to have something special coming up for a Black-Red list. But let's get to this list. The main difference that we had from most Blue-White lists is this 7-drop right here. Approach of the Second Sun was a card that we discovered pretty late, but it really solved a lot of our problems. We were playing against green-black and realizing that their bestiaries and duresses and siphoners, they just had so much inevitability against us that there was no real way that we could just win the game through Gearhulks or Lyras or Teferis. So once we started testing this card, it was like a laughable first couple 5 games. Our opponent may have drawn an extra, 4 or 5 cards off bestiary, but that also slows them down. So they're dirtling around, drawing a couple extra cards. You just slam an approach, and you win the game. There's just no way they can pressure you fast enough. Against Black-Red, it's still pretty bad, and it comes out. And then we just go the Gearhulk plan. But I really like the fact that this Blue-White list gave us a bit of a transformational sideboard plan. And just transformational way to win games. I think that's the worst or the biggest downfall when it comes to Blue-White is it's a very one-dimensional deck and can be exploited in such ways. You notice that by like every single deck that has a swamp in it has 4 duresses, because if you duress pre-combat and see that they're about to blow you out with a settle, you play around it. It gets much easier when you learn how to exploit these Teferi decks. So we'll get to the list here. 4 Seal Away. We played around with the numbers a little bit and then just realized this is just the most important removal spell. We were playing many Seal Aways over Cast Outs, over Fumigates. Like, it's just the most important removal, and it's the most important play on turn 5 when you can tick up. Oh, excuse me. When you can tick up and also have Seal Away to protect your Teferi. 2 Blink of an Eye. To be honest, these would be 2 more Seal Aways if it were possible, but it's another play. 2 drops are very important when it comes to Teferi. Being able to defend after you untap your 2 lands is a big deal. This is another aspect of it. It's also very great in the mirror. We got 2 Essence Scatters here. Dealing with Hezret's a big problem. Dealing with Phoenixes, Scarab Gods. Really just an all-around great card. 1 Negate. We got 2 more in the sideboard here. It's actually a phenomenal card against Black-Red. You want Negates instead of Essence Scatter post-board because it all comes down to Chandras, Karns, Duresses, Spyglass. The only creature you really care about is Hezret, and that's why you keep in stuff like Disallow. 2 Search for Azcanta. It's one of the most powerful card engines next to Teferi, and when they work together, it is just busted. So we have 4 Disallows, arguably one of the best cards in the format right now. Being able to point this at anything your opponent is doing is huge. A Bomat trigger, any relevant spell, Scrounger coming back, you know, it's an all-around great card. 3 Settle the Wreckage. This is the new Fumigate. It's just better. Being able to, even when you don't have it in your hand, your opponents play differently. Sometimes you get 6 free points of damage just because they're afraid of this card. You know, the more I've learned to play against this card, the more I've realized that you really have to just ask yourself a question at the beginning of every combat. Can I win if I don't go for it? And most of the time the answer is no, so most of the time you should go for it. People play a little too conservatively against blue-white, and I think that's how they lose. Cast Out, all-around great card. Dealing with Chandra is big. Still being able to cycle it early to make your land drops is also very important. 2 Glimmers, very important when it comes to your sideboarded games for Gear Hulks. Going Glimmer, Disruption on 5, and then Gear Hulk, Glimmer again. Like, the amount of card advantage you get there is so huge. Teferi, you know, not much needs to be said about Teferi. We needed a hero, and Teferi is that hero. It's a control player's dream. It does it all. It's busted. It's replacing Jace, the Mind Sculptor in Modern. Just let that sink in. The card that once had the Banhammer is being replaced by a new 5-mana Planeswalker from Dominaria. It's crazy. Still have 2 Fumigates here just because they're excellent against green-black. Game 1 against red-black, they're great as well. Just an all-around great card at letting you catch up. I spoke of approach. Syncopate's a card that I've been going down on. I've been not feeling as confident, but on the play up against red when you can counter a Scrounger, an Earthshaker, Kenra, and exile those effects, it is huge. Alright, we'll get on to the sideboard here. Got those 2 extra negates for any kind of control matchups. Spyglass, very good at any kind of planeswalkers that you're not currently playing. So they don't come in against blue-white, but they come in against any Karn deck, any Chandra deck. Really versatile card here. 3 History Benalios. This is solely for controls. This is solely a control breaker. People don't mistake this for anything of what it is. Anything than what it is. Don't be bringing this in against black-red. Don't bring this in against green to have some chump blockers. It's bad. It is only for control mirrors. This card, on the other hand, is great against a lot of things. Heart of Kirin's, the mirrors for cast-outs, really any kind of artifacts and enchantment. I know that's a pretty self-explanatory definition, but it's a very versatile card. You don't want a lot of them. That's why we only ended on 1. The 4 Settle, anything that just relentlessly attacks you, this card's phenomenal. The extra Glimmer for the control matchups. We have been bringing some in against black-red on the play. Lyra is kind of a little, it comes in a lot, and it's kind of just a get-you card. Sometimes on turn 7, play Lyra with a negate backup, and you cannot lose sometimes. So it's a good catch-all. Probably the most important card in the sideboard is Torrential Gearhulk. I don't know if you all have forgot about Torrential Gearhulk and the power level, but it's still arguably the most powerful Gearhulk and serves its purpose to this day. Walking Ballista is an interesting one that we found pretty late into testing. We were really just bowing down to Bomat. On the draw, especially. On the play, we could handle it, but on the draw, it was just getting so many cards. It was becoming 1 mana Lava Axe plus draw 4 cards. You know, like, that's just a card that is too good to ignore. You know, I mean, if you have the seal away, sure, but half the time you have to be sealing away Scroungers or Karizevs to just not die. But Bomat was one card that always snuck under the radar until you're like, oh no, this card has 5 cards under it. I have to kill it or I will lose because of those cards. Ballista was the answer to that. Being able to do it on 4, kill a Ballista, and have a chump blocker that can also ping a future Ballista, anything like that was just phenomenal. On the play, our deck does its job enough where we didn't want it, but yeah, it's also pretty good against Siphoners, so yeah, I think it was a very well-rounded deck. Brad successfully took 28th, I believe, at the Pro Tour with it. With 1 punt even, when he should have won a match. Very tough deck to play. No fault to him at all. Brad played the deck phenomenally. I would have played this deck if I played it like him, because I think with how he played, I think he had a better shot and constructed than me, even though I felt very confident with black-red. He played phenomenally with the deck. So let's get to the matches here and see if we can get our second son on. Stay tuned. All right, welcome to round one, everybody. Okay, so we definitely got to start off with a mulligan here. Ugh, another one-lander. Definitely going to keep this on the draw. Oh, it's about the worst land that we could hope for. But I think we just got to keep any land here. Excuse me. All right. Let's see what we're up against. I'm guessing after the Pro Tour was just won by red-black variant. I'm guessing it's going to be running rampant, but we will see. All right, swamp. Maybe mono black control. A ballista for one is no big deal. All right, at least we got something to do here with Syncopate. Definitely just need some running land here in this hand, should be fine. No attack. Does not want to get seal away. Okay, that'll do. Teferi definitely dies a lot more against this deck just because of Vraska's Contempt, but yeah, it still gets a card out of the deal and causes them to get rid of a card, so that's usually plenty. Not gonna cycle these lands because all we want to do is just get to Glimmers and Teferrying, and yep, don't care if you put counters on since you're not attacking. Ballista is annoying. It does pester Teferi quite well. But we can just blink it here too if he does nothing. This is not a winning plan usually against blue-white. Just because eventually you have to attack, and I just draw counter spells. Okay, now I'm going to blink it just in case I draw a land and I can Teferi. It's really nice if they put on a counter as well. Then I can't get end of turn Vraska's Contempt. Really dealt us all three. Didn't even want it in his hand. Okay, land. One time. That's what's up. Okay. So we're definitely going to get down to Teferi here. We could wait one more turn to have Disallow mana open. That might actually be better. Yeah, we're going to do that. Syncopate for one is not going to counter that Vraska's Contempt that more than likely they have. Okay, Cabal Stronghold will add... it nets one extra land right now. Ballista for 3. Okay, yep, I think we'll counter that. Syncopate for 2. Now we want one more land, and we're really going to be feeling good. Land, boom. Nope. Well, we could draw it at this point. So now I think it's worth it, because it could be on top. And if not, could draw another Teferi or something. And they still have to waste their whole turn just Vraska's Contempting it. And we got there! Why didn't I play this deck at the Pro Tour? It feels so nice when you get there. I did enjoy Black-Red. I really did. And I played it, from what I thought, pretty well. I did make a mistake against against Luis Salvado in the 8th round to be 7-1. It was quite a bad play, but I ended up drawing 5 Magic cards within 4 turns to win the game. What I mean by that is one of my draw steps had to be Chandra into another lethal threat so that they would have to cast away the other threat. I got so incredibly lucky at points. Okay, so now Liliana is quite annoying, so I think we are just going to get rid of that. Gonna put that on top, and then we're gonna get rid of that land. Yep, we'd have enough mana to... Oh, we wouldn't have enough mana to seal away and Glimmer, because that is what we were gonna need to do. Yep, we're one short of that, so we can't field yet, but that's okay, because we know it's on third from the top. So now there is a card between it and then Liliana. Now we are afraid of like another Ballista here. Alright, we're gonna seal away. Come seal away, come seal away, come and seal away with me. Just concedes. Yeah, we were gonna be drawing some nice cards. Okay. Alright, so mono black. Feel like we're going to want some Gear Hulks here. Glimmer's great. If they're duressing us and we can top deck a Glimmer, that is usually a very nice plan. Definitely don't want Lyra. Lyra will just get destroyed pretty easily. Negate seem pretty good. They don't have many creatures. Approach is pretty good, but maybe not even needed against them. We pretty much win the long game with the Teferi. Could still be good. On the draw, we're going to take out Syncopate. I don't know. Disallow is super great on the draw. Essence Scatter is not very good. I think Cast Out is a phenomenal card. We definitely still want some settles. I think Fumigate is pretty bad. I kind of like this. Ooh, I want the Spyglass for Liliana. That would be nice. Could play one Lyra. I think we will do something like this here. I like it. We'll try it. It should be fine. A little slow and missing a color, but all right, Memorial say go here. We really don't want to see like a Siphoner. This hand is not really ready for a Siphoner right now. Perfect. Okay. One more turn where they don't do anything too crazy, and we should be able to control the game from there. Ballista for one is A-okay. Alright. Spyglass. Something that's going to be good a little later. Right now we just want to hold up Disallow and then Glimmer next turn. That'll probably come in handy later. Shut down all the Ballistas. I will take one. Oarsman, I definitely recognize that Moto name. I know that that's a good player. Yep, I will take two. Could have disallowed the trigger. Alright, Glacial Fortress is exactly what we wanted. Okay, we'll gladly take three. That's fine. Gonti. Yeah, we probably don't want that happening. Disallow. Alright, not really ready to play Teferi yet, because it would likely not live. So we'll hold on that. We really want to Glimmer this turn, and next turn have a Spyglass and Glimmer or Disallow available, or Teferi tick up Disallow. Liliana. Well, I don't really want our opponent to bring back Gonti, so I think this has to be another counter spell. Unfortunately. Okay, so we're going to Glimmer main phase here because we just want to make land drops. We're going to just take the Fortress here. Got it anyways. Now we'll Spyglass. More than likely just shut down this Walking Ballista. But if there's another Liliana in the hand, nope. So, yep, we're just going to take down Walking Ballista. This is the... Yep. Now it is just a vanilla 2/2. Our opponent does have some good cards. We have a Doomfall, a Never Return, and a Tutor. So they definitely can do some stuff. Our hand is pretty Doomfall proof right now, so we're not horribly worried about that. I'm more afraid of what they could get with acquisition. Okay, so we still know those cards. I think it would make sense for our opponent to Doomfall our hand and then acquisition, just because then they would have perfect information. But we'll see what they do. They're going to search first. They don't have to reveal it. It would be nice if we could go to Teferi, tick up, and Glimmer, or have Settle defense. But it would also just be nice to just go Approach and just start the clock. That's the reason we played 2 approaches, because our opponent can just Doomfall us right now and get one of them. But we have a lot of great draws in our deck still. All the Gear Hulks are amazing. You know, another Approach would be great. Bloodfast. Okay, that makes sense. There's the second approach. So now I think we're going to go to Teferi. Now we got both approaches. We really want to get one of them out of our hand, though. Not the draw we wanted there. Okay, untap 2 lands and pass. So our opponent has Never and Doomfall. I suspect a Never is going out to Teferi. And then probably just drawing some cards. Ooh. Well, our opponent can stop our Approach of the Second Sun plan. And then winning the game is definitely a lot harder through a Bloodfast when you don't have any access to Approach. Still not unlosable, but just need to find a cast out, maybe even a blink to bring Spyglass back to our hand and then name Bloodfast. Really, our whole hand is pretty scary, though. I wouldn't be surprised if our opponent goes Duress, Doomfall, gets the 2 approaches, and nevers the Teferi. That would be a good play, but then we still have a lot left in the tank. This deck is just so fun to play, and yeah, I really think it's going to be a solid choice for this weekend. I know I am not going to the GP. I'm taking the weekend off, but I am going to play the Mox, try to defend my Mox title. And I don't know, I will probably play this or Black-Red. I think some of the lists out there for Black-Red were better than ours. All right, Teferi is down. Doomfall coming to the hand. Doesn't make sense to take one approach and not take the other, so I would guess that that one's gone. Then our opponent is handless, and we are approachless. Looks like we got to win the old-fashioned way with Teferis. Yep, Teferi is definitely the better player right now. We need a hero. We're holding out for a hero of Dominaria. And we have a memorial where we have extra gas here later if they can find an answer for Teferi. So now our opponent's going to start going off with Bloodfast, which is scary. We're not going to settle that yet. 5-3 is pretty irrelevant. Oh, that was a good draw. That was a good draw. One draw. Two draws. Three draws. A fourth draw. Probably playing one spell at least. Reveals the hand. Well, I'm going to Glimmer in response. Ooh. Those are both quite good. Negate, I don't think we want right now, but we're definitely going to keep that search. Oh, that is a good hand. That is a good hand. That is a lot to deal with. If they leave me with the cast out, I'm cast outing that Bloodfast right away. If not, we get to do some, if they take the Gear Hulk, they take the cast out, we get to do some Gear Hulk stuff, play a search, draw a card. Takes the Gear Hulk. Okay. Well, that was a great draw as well. Alright. This deck is gas. Alright, we're going to play this cast out, get that Bloodfast out of here. Alright, now we have the option of playing a search for his Kanta or holding open a Gear Hulk. Right now, Teferi's not in immediate danger, so I'm pretty sure we're going to use Disallow. So I would like to just get search on the field so it can start drawing cards. I'm going to untap. Now I have Settle in case our opponent duresses us and makes it so we can't disallow something. So we can at least do something this turn. Alright. Attack is going to be fine. Yeah, without this Spyglass, that Gear Hulk would have been, or that Ballista would have had to have been dealt with much, much sooner. Alright, I wish I had a Field of Ruins for that land, because that land is actually producing 4 extra. This land's producing 5. Yeah, we're going to disallow that. We would like to hold on to Teferi if at all possible. Alright. Looks like our opponent might just be returning 2 different things. Nope. Bloodfast is back. Ruh-roh. Down to 8, though. Our opponent doesn't have that many more draws. You get limited at some point. And we do have his Kanta in play. Okay, return targeting Glimmer. We still got another Glimmer, so that's okay. So we have to put this card into the graveyard now. Ugh. Don't want to, but we gotta. Gotta flip this as Kanta. Okay, another Teferi. We're gonna start by drawing. Blink of an eye. Okay. So now we could blink the Bloodfast. At this point, I don't think we care about it anymore. Our opponent can't draw that many more cards, so I think we're just going to Iscanta here and then untap lands. Alright, we'll take a cast out. We'll go to our end step. Untap Iscanta and a Plains. Alright. Now we may have a settle coming out. We don't want to just lose to Teferi, so I think now is the time to settle. Alright, exile. And we have a blink that we can use for something here. Alright. Our opponent has infinite mana, but just not infinite life. We actually have a cool play we could do right now. We could blink of an eye or cast out. Get the blood fast into play. He would legend rule one and then cast out the other one. Might be a cute play. Yep, we don't care about that too much. Could blink of an eye that. Then our opponent doesn't gain 2 life. That's relevant. Okay, I'm in. It's one less card our opponent gets to see. Alright, the drawing train has ended. Is this just a big ballista that can't be activated? Return. Getting our settle out of the way. I think our opponent is in pretty rough shape. I guess still has 5 cards. Yeah, it really depends how this turn goes. This looks like a ballista. Yep. And a tracker. Okay. We have the choice between cycling cast out right now. I don't think we care about that. Alright. So now we can go to Teferi, tick up, and have ballista back up. I think that's probably the best thing we could be doing right now. Gonna do that. Oh, I just noticed our screen's getting cut off a little bit here. The only thing that's off the screen is the Iscanta a little bit. So sorry about that. I know that gets a little annoying. It's pretty tough to do. I have to pretty much choose to shrink the cards, which makes that look worse, or make it where when boards get pretty complicated like this, it's a little off. But so, Bloodfast triggering. Don't think I care about that. Nah. Duress, huh? That's not too big of a deal. Yeah, we're gonna let that happen. So I could see a situation where Teferi could get in a little bit of trouble. We have Blink of an Eye. Yeah, I could see Teferi falling this turn if our opponent has a Vraska's Contempt. No attack, so they must not. Alright, well, there's no point in Gear Hulking when whatever my target is going to be that, so we'll just Iscanta. No rush. And that's a miss. Okay. Exiling our glimmers. Makes sense. Alright, got a blink of an eye. Draw another card. Think we're just gonna Azcanta. You always want to use your mana in some way. A double miss. Double 8 lands. Okay. That's nice. Yep, we're going to untap. Now we have Gear Hulk plus Blink. That's usually pretty good. Think we'll... Just gonna Azcanta again. No need to rush right now. There's some magic cards. We'll get that Negate. Any order. We're gonna cast this cast out. Stop that tracker from doing some annoying stuff. Alright. Still on end step. Now that we just want to react to our opponent as much as possible, but now that we have so much card advantage and our opponent is not actually being aggressive towards us, now it's just time to start closing out this game. We have so much card advantage. So the only thing we have off screen right now is one blank cast out there, which is nice because I can actually blink of an eye that cast out. Alright, we're gonna Azcanta. Yeah, you know, it gets to these situations, the writing's on the wall, it's gonna happen eventually. But, you know, at the Pro Tour, that's one thing I was afraid of, is people don't really just concede at Pro Tours. You know, there's too much on the line, you know. You're gonna go to draws, and this deck you gotta play very fast, and I didn't think I was well equipped to do it in the Pro Tour as much, but I watched Brad play a lot, and he did phenomenal with the deck. So stay tuned. We'll be back with round 2. All right, hello and welcome back here for round 2. Looks like we did not win the Dyro, so we're going to be on the draw. I think this hand is fine. Turn 2 Azcanta is usually very strong, so we're going to keep this. Continue getting our control on here. Okay, here we go. Here's the Testament. That card's bad for us. Alright, we're going to go Glacial Fortress, say go. Another Bomat. Oh boy, 1-drop Central. I think we almost just have to keep open Essence Scatter here. Yeah, I think we do. We can't afford like a Chain Whirler right now, so can't play the Azcanta yet. And our opponent is gonna play stuff into with 2 Bomats. Yep, not much we can be doing now. I'm gonna take 6 total. Wish we would have played the Azcanta now, of course. Okay, so now we have the choice again between Azcanta or Disallowing. I think we need to counterspell. Next turn, now we really want to try to use our Disallow on pretty much anything. The next turn play both of these and maybe we can get back in, but being on the draw against a double Bomat draw is very tough. But you do get to attack and bluff like you have it a lot, so people play their games very differently against this deck. Alright. No blocks. Gonna go to 8. No play. Okay. A Seal Away is pretty good. Can at least get one of those Bomats out of the way. Chandra is quite annoying because we have to counter that, leaving us defenseless. This is the bad situation you get in against these red decks, is they play threats main phase 1, and you either counter them and they can attack freely, or you don't counter them and you're in trouble because the spell itself. Okay, one Bomat's gone at least. I think we're okay with that. Okay. Actually, yeah, we get a Teferi down now. Might just be dead, but we'll get a Teferi. Did not want another one. All right. A Crasher. Well, we gotta scatter that. Yeah, probably not living through this turn. Yep, that's lethal. Okay, mono red on the play gets a little better. All right. Okay, we definitely want Lyra, Gear Hulk, the other Settle. There we go. All right. I don't think we want. Disallows aren't very good. Got to check my sideboards here. I did not memorize all this yet. Okay, yeah. Syncopate was bad. Search. Probably want both Gear Hulks, I would imagine. Spyglass isn't bad. I like this. Seems about right. This is definitely a tricky matchup, that's for sure. And it is going to be one that you will have to know how to play upside down with Wyatt just winning the Pro Tour here. But they always come down to being very good games. You know, there's definitely those blowaways, you know, like the one that just happened here with Bomats. But most of the times they're very close. I think we keep this because we'll cycle here. Our opponent is on the mulligan. It is a bummer our Field of Ruins are 100% dead against actual mono red. Wyatt's list just had 24 mountains. I like it. Okay, we're going to cycle. Lands. That's pretty good. Play that and ship the turn. An island on top would be sweet. Or better yet, a glacial fortress. Okay, Karizev. Right on time, right on time. Okay, so now we got the counter spell for some other 3-drop. And then into Glimmer's, usually pretty good. Earthshaker Kenra. A card we don't necessarily want to disallow, but we do just want to disallow this turn. So, unfortunately, I think it's still the play. If we could Glimmer that turn, we definitely would have just done that. But since we could not. So now we could play Ballista for 2, but really all we need to do is make our land drops here. Find Seal Aways and land. That's what I really want. If I could see a land and Seal Away on top, that's exactly what I would want. Okay. So we're going to be taking 5 here. But we will get to Glimmer. I almost just Glimmered out of habit there, but you always want to wait. Maybe they don't attack with everything. Yeah, but in this situation, our opponent needs land. So that would be very strange. Alright, cast a Glimmer. I'm really looking for one land for sure. If we see two land, I think we'll want to bottom one of them. Just it's a little bit of greed, but a little bit of the fact that we're going to draw a lot of lands. Okay, we're going to keep both of those. That's great right now. Yeah, Fumigate is excellent against this board, especially when our opponent is stuck on land. So this is an easy Fumigate. And gain 2. All right. Chain Whirler. All right, Approach of the Second Sun's pretty good. We're going to play a Teferi as mostly a distraction mechanism right now. Have our opponent focus a lot of energy on Teferi, and we don't really care about that. And then we just approach next turn, and that should be enough to lock up the game against this draw. I do think there are situations where people attack Teferi too much. You know, while it is the most important planeswalker and it takes over the game after even a couple turns, there are games where you can't win by attacking Teferi, and in those situations you should just be going for it. This situation right now, if our opponent plays a Crasher, it's pretty close whether to attack me or Teferi because I need that next land. And then I only have one draw at it, but I could just play a Gear Hulk too and a Ballista for one. Like, Teferi gets out of control very quickly. And we have the double approach. Never really want to be drawing two of them like we've done a couple of times. But, you know, it is just an automatic win on turn 8 if we draw a land. Yep, we're cool with that. A Hazoret, okay. Card's very good. Not extremely scared of it right now, especially since we got that. We're going to draw a card, approach, and really nothing that our opponent out of mono red could do to stop us now. So this game will be locked up thanks to the approach of the Second Sun. Oh, that card is just fun to cast. I did not play too much of it because decks were just so much better at beating old approach decks. You know, there was like Rogue Refiner in the format. There was like Rogue Refiner Negate decks. There were Siphoner Duress Negate decks. Like, it did not have a place before, but now it is like perfectly well positioned to make its comeback. No pun intended by saying a comeback on a Second Sun here. Oh. All right. To game 3. It's always tougher on the draw, but I think this configuration is pretty good. Maybe we want to... I'm just thinking that many heavy drops on the draw might not be best. Maybe we want one extra Glimmer or one Search. Or one Spyglass. We'll go with one Search. Alright. Sound is fine. Not great. Hope to draw some gas in between. Alright. Mountain Go. We're going to start with a Memorial. Blink's a good pickup here. It's a nice turn 4 play before we play Teferi. Earthshaker Kenra. That'll probably be getting a Seal Away next turn. Come seal away, come seal away, come and seal away with me. Could see a Crasher. Yep, we definitely need to get rid of one of those at least. Yeah, now if our opponent hustles out a Chandra or something, you know, we're very scared of that. Okay. Play Glacial Fortress, and at least we can cycle here. Alright, no Chandra, please. That's the one thing we're very afraid of. We don't mind a creature. Hooray, that's not a Chandra. Okay, now we want to find one of our 4 settles. That's not a settle. It's not bad. It's not bad. If we can take this hit of 5. A blink isn't great right here. Oh, yes. Okay. It's much better when our opponent tries to play around settle. It's really the break we kind of needed. So now we're going to Glimmer, Teferi, tick up, and have blink. That's going to be a great this turn and next turn. Yep. And we really want to find a Fumigate, too. That would be great. Neither of those cards. That's not good. Ugh. Ugh, that's some bad luck. Well, I still think we Teferi tick up here. Yeah, Teferi tick up seems like the most sense. Makes the most sense. But we are kind of in trouble. Really wanting a Fumigate or something there. Pretty unfortunate draws, I would imagine. We can Ballista on 3. That's pretty relevant. Our opponent's just going all at us now. Indicates they probably have enough burn to finish us off here. So better play a little defense. Could easily just be dead on the spot. Chandra. Okay. Ugh. Yeah, we definitely got flooded out there. I don't think there's anything we can do to stay alive here. Well, that's not true. We can put this on top. We can play a Ballista for 1. We can only play a Ballista for 1 and then counter the Chain Whirler he's going to play, block, and sack. That keeps us alive, at least. We're going to play an island. Yeah, we drew a lot of lands. Lyra would have been nice right there. If our opponent plays Chain Whirler, we could actually just put a counter on Ballista and save our Disallow and try to get something else. Nope, not looking like it's going to be the case. Both at me. I'm going to block with Ballista. Love to find an approach of the second sun here. That would be great. Akari's Ebb. We're probably supposed to not care about this. So our opponent probably has a Lightning Strike. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be an upkeep Lightning Strike where we will for sure have to disallow that. Draw a card. Oh, dang it. Yeah, if they would have not cast that and we could have cast a Fumigate, that would have been very nice. But I think we are just dead now. The Chandra won't be drawn this turn, but it will be drawn next. So we just have to bluff here. Hope it works. I highly doubt it will. And we'll be moving on to round 3. Yep, we had this a little earlier. I think this game would have went our way. But that's happened. That happens in this matchup. Yep, that'll do it. Okay. Well, stick around for round 3. We'll see if we can at least salvage a 2-1 out of this. Okay, see you soon. All right, everyone. Welcome back to our third and final round here. Let's see if we can end this on a victory. I love being on the play. We're going to keep this. It's a fine hand. Our opponent mulled to 6. All right, we're going to start on plains here. We might cycle depending on what we see. A Bomat is a reason to cycle, in my opinion. Try to find early ways to interact with that card. All right, Bomat gets on in there. Yep, and this is probably just going to be a want to hustle out to 7 mana and approach game and just try to stay alive until then. Fumigate's a good draw here. Might not be playing it for a while, but I don't think we're going to want to blink anything. Even Kari Zev would be like something worth thinking about, but I think we just want to set up for Fumigate. I could see if it was a Scrounger. Maybe we would bounce a Scrounger because that would already get value by getting Fumigated. But we also just need to get to our land drops. So cantripping here would be quite good. Alright, opponent is deep in the tank. Okay, red-black here. A farmlands. That's tempting, because I don't know how much we actually want to disallow next turn. Or, yeah, on his turn. Or on their turn. It's a 3-drop, so we would be... We're not super afraid of anything. The scary cards are the 4-drops. So maybe we just play this farmlands to be safe. But going disallow into blink just seems a little bit better. So we're going to play this. We could always draw a plains and then we're going to want to cycle this anyways. It's a little bit more of the greedy play to not play the farmlands here, but I think it is probably correct against red-black. All right. They have phenomenal taste in land, so that's a huge plus. Chain Whirler. I think we'll not allow that. Could have been a little bit of a loose counter, but right now I just want to be able to survive until I play approach. Yep, we'll play that. Blink with kick or something seems pretty good. Crasher. Kind of like essence scattering and cycling here. I also kind of like just blinking the Bomat. You know what? I think I'm just going to blink the Crasher. Just really go for the tempo swing. Okay, blink with kicker the Crasher. Got that plains we wanted. I think we're actually just going to play Memorial here. And then Essence Scatter and Cycle. Seems pretty decent. Yeah, we'll do that. Getting closer to that approach. Bomat is getting to a scary number right now. As long as we don't let them threaten our life total as well as threatening to draw a bunch of cards. That's something we do not want. So we know our opponent has one Crasher and some mystery cards in hand. Bomat has Lava Axed us and will draw 5 cards. Bomat is so good. Cycle. Essence Scatter. And another farmland. So I think we just play the farmlands this time. And probably Essence Scatter or something. And then approach next turn. Yep. Our opponent will probably just snap that that Bomat off. He's got to be scared because Disallow is still a magic card. Alright. The second sun will be approached. 21. Opponent discarded 2 Abrades. That's a good trade. And cycles a Canyon Slough, but now has 7 magic cards. Glory Bringer. That's okay. And a Bomat. Okay, this is going to be a nice Fumigate, boys and girls. This is going to be a nice Fumigate. Woo! I'm usually the one doing that and then hoping they don't have Fumigate. Alright, Fumigato, Mr. Roboto. Gain our life. Alright, got a Syncopate for... Yeah, can't really counter anything. Except the second spell, maybe. Can't counter that. Sure. So now we have 8 lands, so we can sack Memorial next turn to get a little closer. Which something we'll probably want to do. So the approach should be 5 cards down. So we had a Rivulet. Ooh. Now we'll probably just cast that. We need a hero. Draw a card. Really wanted to land there. Now we get to Memorial as well. That was huge. Also have the Syncopate up if we need it. Well, it's a decent Syncopate card. 6. Nope, can't counter it. Alright, our opponent could kill Teferi if they want. I think they have to. The way the number works out, I'm going to draw it next turn. So that's 4. So our opponent can actually just put Crasher at it. Kari's have it me. Yep, left 1 damage. Missed 1 point of damage there. It's not going to matter. I still think I get to... second sun next turn. I'm bad at doing the where it's at from this side of the deck, but whenever I play against it, I keep track of it exactly. But here, you know, you got to play your game anyways. Alright, Memorial, draw a couple cards. The cast out allows me to cycle. Yeah, it should be on top. There it be. The second sun has been approached. Oh, it didn't let me cast it. Alrighty. So black red. It gets to be pretty tough. Gets to be very tough matchup because they get to bring in Duresses, Doomfalls. I was absolutely loving this matchup when I was playing against it at the Pro Tour. I played it a lot, so I really knew the intricacies of it. Brad would still beat me, of course, just because he always does, but... Alright, so these are not good. Yeah, you change your plan from trying to kill them with approaches to trying to grind them out and then gear hulk them, which sometimes doesn't always work, but you got to try something because it is a really tough, game on the draw. Bring in this, ballistas, glimmers, negates. Disallows are bad. Like I said, syncopates on the draw were bad. Negates are actually your most important counter spells. Yeah, we're taking out one Field of Ruin. Oh yeah, and Fumigates, that's right. Yeah, we probably want some form of counter spells here. I usually like keeping in one Fumigate too. That was not the popular opinion when we were, oh, Spyglass is good too. When we were testing, it was the unpopular opinion to be leaving in any Fumigates, but you can just get them, you know? Like, you can just get your opponent sometimes because they expect you to take it out. I like it as a one-of. Not saying it's super correct because I know the team, that was not their plan, but... Alright, so this hand's pretty slow with the 3 cycle lands, but I think it's still a keep. Just settling as many times as you can here is usually a recipe for success, but we're going to find out. Tap land. We're going to follow the theme. All right, a lot of 4s here. Scrounger. Not the worst, not the best. Crasher. Crasher was a card I played a 2 of at the Pro Tour in red-black, and it was very good. Okay, there's that one Fumigate, and it's not looking great right now. We really need that 4th land. That'd be pretty unlucky to keep a 3-lander and not get one. At least we got the negate for... nope, just kidding. Well, we're going to need it next turn or we will be dead. Our opponent could duress us, I guess. Probably would have done that already. Alright, land or dead. Okay, next game. Huh. Gotta love those interactive games. Okay, on the play, it definitely gets better. Definitely gets better. You never want to go lower on lands, though. Syncopate's great on the play. Ballista is only good on the draw. It's really not a great card against him, but you need to try anything you can on the draw because it's a very tough match to win. So I think we'll try this. I don't like Fumigate on the play. Maybe we'll do one Disallow. Sounds good. Alright. Let's just have a nut draw on the play one time. That's not bad. That's not bad. Teferi and stuff that protects it. A little clunky again, but... Our opponent mulligan to 6 here. We're going to start with a Memorial. No Beaumont. That's great news. Cycle land, huh? I think we'll actually cycle that. We would like a little bit of gas. We also want a 5th land, but there's a lot of lands in the deck. Yep, we'll be okay with that. That would have been a great Syncopate. Oh, what a tease. Okay, farmland here. I think I want to actually play that. Hopefully still get to Syncopate something for 1, and then we'll have Settle, and then into Teferi. Yeah, hooray. Syncopate for 1. Alright. Blink of an Eye was a great draw, because we don't necessarily want to settle unless they play a Crasher, but we will gladly just blink that back to their hand. Akari's Ev, huh? It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I think we'll just bounce it and then tick up to Teferi here. Really want to seal away for extra protection. Ooh, that's a bad one. That was a nice play. Couldn't capitalize there. All right. Just going to take 3 here. Now our opponent knows we have Settle for the whole game. That's the tough dance. Now they're going to be just dancing around that card. But if they try to not get super aggressive, we get some Memorial. There's definite play that we can do, but Land Chandra is very bad for us. Chain Whirler's okay. We'll take that. Believe our opponent knows we have this land, so we'll play that. Give away as little information as possible. Now if our opponent attacks with both, we, have no choice but to settle. But if our opponent attacks with 1, we're going to Memorial. So now the question is to give them an extra land or take 2. And I think I would rather take 2. Teferi off the top would be perfect. Take the 2 from the monkey. We know they still have a Scrounger. Akari's Ev and a Scrounger. Okay. It's pretty good. Alright, a Teferi. Negate's not terrible. Alright, would like it if our opponent took a little time off from playing a bomb, or from attacking us all the way so we could use Memorial. Probably not going to happen. We would definitely have to settle both these creatures if they attack with both. I think we even have to take the monkey out of the equation too. Yeah, at this point they already have a good chunk of lands. So we're going to settle. Now at least we got a counter for like a Chandra, but really need the top of our deck to be helpful to us. Phoenix, it's a good card. Alright. Immediately found an answer, that's great. And now we can sack the Memorial and seal that away, which is very nice. Yep. So we're just going to seal away the Phoenix. Alright. Gearhulk would have been a great card right there. We'll take the 3. Hopefully it doesn't play something we need to counter. Hooray! Okay, get to draw 2 cards. That's very huge right now. 2 land, that's not good. Ooh, there we go. Right on time. We needed a hero and we got one. Okay, so now we could just down tick on this, but then we're very susceptible to Chain Whirler, so I think we have to tick up. Perfect. Drew a card we needed. We'll untap some lands. As long as something, we don't play too many creatures against us here. Like a Hazoret would be bad because it would have to be sealed away. It's a pretty good one as well. Now this is a decision where to go to the face or not. Decides to go to try to kill this, and that's what I'd want to see. Like, if they can't actually kill it, I'd rather them be taking time dealing with Teferi, because then my life total is not going down dangerously. Alright, a land, not what we wanted. Ooh, there we go. There we go. We were waiting for one to show up, and it's probably going to end this game. Oops, got to untap theirs. A Duress. Duress just gets the negate. So I think we still counter it so that they don't know it. Yep. Alright, now we get to Gear Hulk and target settle. Target settle here just in case they have the removal. Yep. Saw the writing on the wall. Woo, that was a close one. Really could have went any other way. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching a little bit of Blue-White Control, taking a little break from playing Chain Whirlers. I know with the dominance of this last Pro Tour, it's going to be what our metagame is going to be like for a while. But that doesn't mean it's going to be a stale metagame. It's essentially solved right now, but this will lead to very dramatic decks to beat it, and then those dramatic decks will cause other decks to be playable again because red-black won't be the best deck again. So it's going to go through phases here for a while. Right now, I think moving forward for next week for your RPTQs or your GPs in Copenhagen, I think Blue-White is going to be a very good choice for this weekend, and I would recommend playing the list that we ended up on. Brad knows his lists up and down, and he really tweaked and really created a bit of a masterpiece here. So I have been a little worse about returning comments and questions as I've been at the Pro Tour testing for the last 2 weeks, so I apologize for that. But I'm back home, so I would love to talk to you. Let me know what you guys think about this Blue-White approach list. And yeah, just message me if you guys have any interesting things that I made plays on or any interesting different lists of Blue-White. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Bye.